Okay, now let's just share my OBS screen. If I can. Oh no. Um, how do I used to just share my OBS screen, but I forgot how to do that. Start virtual camera. Okay, let me go to my um, screen resolution. We'll drop the resolution to 720, and then we'll go 30 FPS. Does that work? Okay. Now let's go to okay. Let's see if this will work because right now YouTube's good. The problem is the second I start streaming on Discord, it breaks because it's too much. I forgot how I used to share my screen just of OBS. Looking at my, let me look this up real quick. Okay, let me. Actually, I'm gonna wait. This is such a headache, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna. Oh wait, window. I mean, I'll try it and see if YouTube breaks. If YouTube breaks, then I'm not gonna be able to do this live streaming thing. It's just not gonna work until someone finds me a solution. All right, let me try sharing it. Well, I cranked down the quality. The quality's freaking garbage. I don't want the quality to be that low though. Okay, well the stream looks okay. Now can I turn up the quality a little bit on Discord? Is that gonna break it? I mean, I can't go source quality because source quality is just too high, but I'm hoping I can maybe find a happy medium. I dropped the frame rate to 30. I think that's okay. No, it's still okay. We'll drop it to 30. And then let's put the quality at 1080. How about that? Okay. Is that gonna break it? We're running with only a 6-second delay, which is pretty nice. It looks like the YouTube is working and it is live. Can you guys join the YouTube link and let me know? It says it's not experiencing enough, but it's not buffering much. Whoever's in the I'm thinking I mean it says error YouTube is not receiving enough maintaining a video to maintain smooth streaming. And it says the stream status is poor, but I see it moving fine. Let me try drawing something. Type in chat, is the stream usable on YouTube? Did I kind of find happy? I know the Discord isn't as high quality, but this is only I mean, this is 1 week kind of thing. But no, I'm not doing real time. I can't do ultra low latency. You can't even have it in HD if that's the case. Um, yeah, no, just regular latency. It's only 6 seconds. Someone join the YouTube link and let me know if it's watchable, like it's playing smoothly. Okay, it seems fine. Okay. I think we're good though. I mean, again, the Discord quality isn't at source, so it's not like the full 4K that it usually is in, but it's not. It's not bad. I think we got it at a happy medium. We're running low latency now instead of on Monday it was normal. There was a 30-second delay. Now there's a 6-second delay. The quality was like in 720p. Now it's in 1440 on YouTube. Discord's running in 1080, but it looks pretty much the same. Discord is a little bit worse. But obviously Discord's more live. And I dropped the Discord to 30 FPS. So I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be able to do this a first week of every month thing. So cool. Bit breaks right after market open. I'm gonna flip out like I did yesterday. I was so freaking frustrated yesterday. So annoying. All right, sweet. Good morning, everyone. So, what? Actually, I'm gonna wait for my pre-market bias. Barely anyone's joined yet. Everyone likes joining my streams, at least on Discord, pretty much right at market open. So I'll wait for that. It is finally working. Yes, I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be okay. But in 5 minutes, I'll do my pre-market bias, and hopefully for the first time in 4 days or 3 days, whatever it is, I'll have more than a 33% win rate. The last 3 days in a row, I start the day with 2 losses, and then my third trade is some like incredibly massive win. But honestly, if it keeps happening, I'm fine. I'm not a person that cares about win rate. I care about actually making money, as few people actually do, and it's been working. So just be advised that's been the trend. But if I see black hit 5 times on the roulette table, I'm going red. So the gambler's fallacy in me tells me it's due to be the opposite sometime soon. This is a nice pivot here on ES. Yeah, it's pretty good. We are gearing to have the exact same bias that we've had for a while. Market looks great for all-time highs, either today or tomorrow. Or at least ES does. And any of you guys on YouTube, if you aren't familiar with my live trading or anything like that, now's your time to ask questions because the market's not open yet. So you have time for that. Yeah, and SPX did make its all-time high. I don't really go off SPX though. And Q's not even close. Lots of supply though. Lots of supply zones. Looks like everyone's on YouTube is shy. No one wants to ask questions. It's fine by me. It's less work for me. Maybe do live trading. Call out here. I am live streaming my live trading here, yes. So read the live description though. I don't verbally call out my exact strike price because I'm already typing it, but all of you guys by now should know what I enter. If I say I'm getting in calls and I draw my little P&L tool on ES, you know that's an SPX call trade. You know that the expiration is 0 days because that's all I trade. And you know the strike is anywhere from 2.4 to 3.0. There's pretty much only one contract price in there, so you don't... I mean, I'm one of the few analysts because I trade the same thing every day. You guys don't need my exact strike prices. But I still type them out in my channel. But we are bullish this morning. ES is a lot more bullish than NQ. We'll see if that lasts. One second, I gotta clear off my desk here. Hey, you guys in Discord, you guys want to see this little Christmas present my mother got me to light candles? It's not a blowtorch. Check this out. Hang on. I'm going to send this in the chat. Don't worry about my desk. It's messy, by the way. A terrible quality video, but there you guys go. I like it. It's nifty. What's the Discord with live? I can't tell you that because I don't want to promote my stuff. Someone else can if they want, but yeah, I don't want server owners bitching at me for stealing their members. It's something I've never dealt with in the 4 years I've been doing this, and I don't plan on starting. It is a candle taser. You're right, Wist. It is a candle taser. It is a candle, and it's not like it's not the same kind of electricity as my actual stun gun that I have tased myself with. It's like a completely different current. So it's like a fire making current almost. It's not loud like the taser, right? It's like it's just a really hot, like I don't know anything about it, but it's different than the stun gun, which I thought was neat. And keep in mind, I will be doing this for 1 week per month. First week of every month, you guys will see a little bit of what I do. I trade options the first hour. Then I execute my future strategy, which means it's mechanical, which means I don't choose what happens. So if I take 3 losses in a row, I'm a slave. I can't do anything about it. I execute that strategy for the second and third hour. Looks like a woodwick. Yes, big fan of the woodwick candles. I am a candle man. The problem with candles is they give you cancer, though. So I try not to burn mine much. Yeah, candles give you cancer, which is a problem. I mean, what doesn't give you cancer in this world, right? But anyways, yeah, pre-market bias is bullish. Let me actually send this out. We still have some time before market open, though. I'm glad I actually finished this well before market open. From breathing it, yeah, candles give you cancer. It's just the scents, the artificial scents that are released into the air are bad. Some candles are fine. Like I think, like for example, wax warmers are a big, cancer causing thing. They're really bad for animals too. But wax warmers, if you get the all natural soy ones, then it's not as bad. But look into it. I haven't done much looking into it, frankly, because I don't want to get I don't want to find out that my woodwick candles are giving me cancer. So ignorance is bliss. But I don't burn it. I don't burn them very often. Really, I just burned it to show you guys my cool contraption. Okay, let's do this. Pretty basic. Just bullish to the nearest pivots. I'm bullish for this supply to break on. Yeah, it's probably going to break before I can even enter, but. All right, send out my pre-market bias. And I forgot to ping everyone, fortunately. Set up my contracts. I'll look at the chats in a second, guys. Actually able to, if you guys type in YouTube chat, I can see it because I need to update my profile pic. That's from a while ago with my old trading setup, but my new one, I can see the entire world with this. And I think I might run a masterclass this month. I don't know for sure yet. I'm not really feeling it. But I still need to update a couple of the classes. So we'll see. I'll debate about that. We're in calls it open. Yep, incognito. The second that bell rings, all in. Don't look back. Gonna make millions. That's exactly what's gonna happen. And don't put a stop loss either, because if you don't put a stop loss, you're never gonna. It's your stop loss is never gonna get swept. That's exactly what we do. All you guys do need to study the Mark Douglas course, though. I'm serious. If you don't know the Mark Douglas course, ask someone in chat to get it to you. It's the most valuable piece of trading education that exists. Trust me, I'm in a bunch of servers. Everyone has bought all those shitty, expensive courses. The Mark Douglas course, is truly the most valuable trading education in existence, and it's completely free. You can ask someone in chat how to get it, and you don't need to join a Discord to get it. It's on a website. But it is, can't really get it anywhere else because it's copyrighted on YouTube. But if you haven't started studying Mark Douglas, Tom Hoover, Dr. Brett Steenbarger, and you want to take trading seriously, you have no chance unless you do that. So start doing that, ideally today. Yeah, you gotta log into that website though. If you log in the top right, and then you go to available recordings, you'll see the Mark Douglas series free. Add that to your library and watch it. 7 parts. It'll change your life, I promise. Because none of you guys even have any idea of, truly you don't, you think you do, but you don't. None of you guys even have an idea of what it takes to actually be a successful trader until you watch that course, I promise. You'll be surprised. So get that done. Get that done today or tomorrow. How many contracts do you take per trade? The amount of contracts I take doesn't matter for you. But yes, I tell you guys when I enter. And it depends what I'm doing. 10 contracts for SPX is typically the norm, but again, that has nothing to do with you. You are your own person with your own risk parameters. Which course is Mark Douglas? Someone can give him instructions in chat as to what that actually, how to actually obtain that course. As for everyone in Discord, we haven't had to answer these kind of questions in a while, huh? Can it be the same for campfires? No, I don't think so. No, campfires are, yeah, you can breathe in all that smoke you want. I think campfires are completely fine. It's just that it's anything unnatural pretty much causes cancer. Pretty much. You know, you got the plastics, you got the unnatural chemically created scents. You got all kinds of things. What's the course link? The course is only $5,000, guys. No, I'm kidding. Don't waste your money on courses. I'm serious. Don't even bother. It doesn't matter what's in the course. If you spend a major percentage of your money on a course, you cannot flip profitable. It doesn't matter. It truly doesn't matter what's in the course. You cannot flip profitable if you do it. And if you guys stick around, I'll tell you guys why. But anyways, let's see if I'm going to be able to take calls. I'm pretty much already triggered in, so I got to see how this candle closes, see which is stronger. And then, yeah, we'll see what happens. SPX calls are opening very bullish. Yeah, but I'm going to be triggered into Q calls. Okay, if this selling weight goes away, I'm in. If it switches to ES being stronger, then I'm not going to be able to type the strike, but I already have the... That is a perfect double top on ES. That is a big deal. That level needs to break. So if this selling wick starts going away, I'm in. I'll be in there like underwear. Still looks like the Nasdaq is stronger, but... I don't know which it'll be. I might just take half and half in both to spread out my risk. But this, once the body of this candle validates, I'll be in. And it's looking like, no, it's going to have to be QQQ. With my luck, the Nasdaq's going to flip weak, but really just need ES to invalidate this candle's body. It looks like they're kind of evening out in strength. It's close. I'm going to take half in each, even though ES is weaker. That's what's going to happen. These calls are chopping, though. So I'm still waiting to enter. That looks really nice on QQQ. Yeah, it's going to have to be Q calls. I'm actually okay getting in on this candle, but saving buying power to average down or average up. You just need this candle to close well, because ES is now in support. It's kind of closing. My finger's on the trigger for the QQQ calls. Yeah, I filled them. I did not fill at 55 cents, though. I filled at 57 cents. That looks pretty good. The problem is, though, the PT is far. The PT is this ES perfect top break. And that is one hell of an entry. Thank you, thank you. Oh, wow, that's big strength. Problem is PT's forever away. So if ES doesn't want to get to the PT, it's going to be a red trade. Yeah, Garika, it doesn't, like, why would I tell you how much risk to put on for a trade? I know nothing about you, your financial position, your experience level. That's an impossible question to answer, brother. Assuming you're a brother and not a sister. Fine with you guys asking whatever questions you want, just don't make them impossible questions, please. Look at the NQ strength, though. I mean, we're almost to the first pivot. Type in the Discord chat. Is anyone in NQ, and are you just going for the first pivot, or are you going for the ES break? Because ES looks like it's trying to stay away from that pivot. I'm very surprised that ES is... One's going to win. I'm hoping NQ wins because I have reason to believe ES goes up, but ES is so weak that it may dump and pull back the Nasdaq. Calls it open, didn't make you rich. What are you talking about? We're printing right now. Look at that. NQ just got to the first pivot here. Strength and weakness analysis. If you don't have that masterclass, get it. That's why I entered QQQ call instead of SPX. Because look at the S&P. Look how it's not going anywhere. Look at the Nasdaq, right? Hey, ES is now invalidated majority of the drop. ES is looking pretty okay to this pivot as long as this selling wick goes away. This selling wick is an issue, which would mean NQ's PT is up here. Now you can trim up here if you want because NQ is on a pivot against supply. Or you can add SPX calls. ES should break this level now. That is a really bullish selling wick invalidation. Remember, this stream is only behind by 6 seconds, so that's pretty good. And obviously Discord's live. SPX calls were bad, but they're pretty good now. You could do a little, buddy. Perfect tops. Got to pay attention to perfect tops. They're such a big deal. Especially one. This is actually technically a triple top. These points were further apart. I'd call it that, but it's fine. That's a solid pullback. That's a great trim level. I'm filling SPX calls on this pullback. It's really risky, though. It's really risky. I need this to close with the buying wick. Yep, that's fine. It's pretty risky, but I did take those. You know what's interesting though? Even though ES put in a red candle, the calls put in a doji. They did not drop at all. We can see NQ flipped weak once we got to this pivot and it rejected. Hopefully that level hits. If it doesn't hit, if I end up stopping out of this trade, guess what? I'm gonna have to re-enter it because it's gonna come back up sometime after. NQ looks rough though. NQ looks like it's had enough of that uptrend. See, is ES going to go for it, or am I going to get hornswoggled this morning? Place your bets in chat. What's going to happen to me? And I didn't put my SPX calls, but there they are. But you guys know what I'm probably feeling. I probably could have went a little higher in strike price, but it's kind of a quick thing. Not higher, lower in strike price. It's trying to get there. It's not being super helpful though. Ugly selling wicks here. There's a lot of selling pressure here against this NQ pivot. It is a fairly minor pivot. It's not even that big of a pivot. It's just in combination with the supply. ES is also in 3 supply zones. Lots of resistance. But if we can get through, I think this entire supply breaks because that's a lot of fuel for a short squeeze. I do futures for the 2nd and 3rd hour quick flips, but I cannot trade options and futures at the same time. I lose all my money. It's too much going on. So I trade options 1st hour, futures 2nd and 3rd, but most people in my community, they trade just futures. And that's what I recommend people do is especially if you're new and you're learning, you shouldn't be trading options. It's just your money's not going to go far enough. That looks pretty good. I'm not going to get my hopes up. But that looks pretty solid. That is another perfect top. Should break here. There we go. That's a heavy profit take right there. I'm out most of my position, leaving a tiny bit left for the potential supply break, but that's pretty much it. Like, that's freaking beautiful. Beautiful. Type in chat if you guys made money on that. Love to see it. Who on QQQ put right? Ah, man. I forget how much of a bubble I'm in. I'm really in a bubble, aren't I, guys? And the rest is doing very well. Should get the supply break. There's the next set of pivots. This is a much bigger set of pivots. This is what I was going for. And there's the final thing. Now I have a teeny tiny runner left. Beautiful. Next pivot is here on NQ. And next pivot is here on ES. Hey, did I not say before this live, before market even open, I told you guys, hey, for the last 4 days straight, I lost the first 2 trades and then had a massive win. The last 2 trades, I feel like today's going to be the opposite. It may be the opposite, which means I may need to stop trading because we may have 2 losses coming because it's the opposite. But or opposite order, I should say. The opposite would be 2 wins and then 1 loss at the beginning. Teeny tiny runners left. That is beautiful, though. My contract's got my runner on SPX got damn near 100%. And these yellow lines on my chart are pivots, which are price targets, just so you guys know. That is a beautiful liquidity sweep on ES. Remember, I only do the free live streams 1 week out of the month. First week of the month, I'm doing them. Only because one of my members requested that I record my live trading, and this is pretty much doing that. That is that is so bullish on ES. That was a really strong kind of bearish rejection. Not the most bearish top, but that's a strong bearish rejection. If this candle closes without a selling wick and we invalidate that rejection, that's going to promote an additional small short squeeze. I think enough to the next pivot. But I told you guys right here, that if we invalidate this candle, it'll look great for a short squeeze because, you know, there's so much sellers entering the market. And that's what this candle was here. We did end up getting that. I did clear 100% on my QQQ also. It got another selling wick. So it does not look great yet, but if that selling wick invalidates, it'll look great. Remember, I'm like barely in anything right now, so. That looks good. Looks pretty solid. Finally, a free stream with great action. I know, right? Yeah. How are you setting your PTs? It is pivots. Previous points of liquidity. What is the mindset? It's the Mark Douglas course. And by the way, I cannot get the YouTube stream quality isn't very good, but it's the best I can do. Like, it's barely in HD. I had to drop the Discord stream quality as well. What actually happened on Monday is if I stream Discord and OBS at the same time at the same application, they fight over each other, and Discord wins the fight, and YouTube loses. What did I tell you guys about that short squeeze, by the way? It's very nice, very nice. Looks okay to the next PT, but NQ doesn't. NQ's really hesitant. But DJ Quill, you need to. Is the free curse broken? It may be. TCG. But the mindset is the Mark Douglas stuff. So, yeah, the mindset is the Mark Douglas stuff. Without selling anything or joining a Discord, visit. Here, I'll pin this message. The message I pinned, go to that website. I'm not promoting a Discord or selling anything. In the top right corner of that website, if you're on mobile, it's 3 lines. If you're on PC, it's in the top right. Log in. You'll enter the dashboard. Go to available recordings. Add that Mark Douglas 7-part series to your library for free. And watch it. No strings attached. It is the most important thing that you can ever do for your trading career. Better than any masterclass I can come up with. And mine are pretty good. There's the ES pivot. And NQ has a good chance. Yep, there it is. There it is. All right, all my nearby PTs hit. Now I just have these ones way up here. Problem with the next PTs is they're far away. ES's PT is up here. That is the all-time high pivot. And NQs are far away, and they're protected by pretty heavy supply. It is beautiful, though. My SPX runner pretty much tapped 100% gains. No, like 90, it got close. How often do you chart out your pivots? I do it manually. It takes like 5 seconds. I do it at the... You guys, if you join the stream early enough, you watch me just map them out real quick on the 15-minute. And there you go. But I'm out of everything. I closed everything. And supply is getting heavy on NQ, so it could go further, but I don't care. Keep in mind, I'm still alerting in my chat while I'm talking, because I'm a freaking beast, but for the formal alerts and TA, you can look in there. 90% gains is what the SPX calls hit. Obviously, I didn't average that. That's what my runner got to. But that is a lot of room for winning. And Nasdaq looks like it's going to keep running to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised if we just keep going. It's starting to look like we're going to get all-time highs sometime today. If we can get above this pivot on ES roughly here and hold it, like consolidate or something, it's going to be looking pretty good for all-time highs on ES. What platform do you trade on? Thinkorswim for options, Trade of 8 for futures. The QQQ calls didn't go up anymore, like at all. They hit like 1.26, and they previously hit 1.23. Whole bunch of nothing. I think I'm done for the day on options. Don't really have any more setups. You could take a risky reversal trade here on SPX. So we did sweep that pivot. It is weaker and Q's in supply. I don't really want to bet against this though. But I'm out of, that's pretty much the only setup I had. I told you guys the pre-market analysis, that's what it pointed to. And we executed it on it, made my money, and that's pretty much it. Type in the Discord chat how many, I think we slacking today, only 60 people on. Type in chat. You guys green, red? Everyone type in chat. Sorry, I missed last time. That is a full chat of green. Love to see it. Let me bully everyone in announcements for not joining. Like, why wouldn't you join live? Like, what are you doing? Did I post images? Oh, I can't post images in this chat. That's lame. Yeah, you can't post images. Okay, whatever. And that's a perfect freaking sell. And if you took that reversal trade, you're doing pretty decent on ES or SPX. By the way, the Aurora Minecraft server is in production. It is fully in production. It'll be done within a week. So that's going to be interesting. Everyone's going to kill Drew, right? Drew's not going to be safe. He's not even in here. Dave says, what's your thought on entering mid candle if it invalidated most of the drop? Could have it's dicey. With options, I'm more lenient, Dave. With futures, I'm not lenient at all. It has to be within the last 10 seconds. Options, I'm okay taking a little gamble. It helps maybe a little bit more than it hurts, right? So out of all the times I do it, maybe 55 or 60% of the time it helped me more than it hurt me. But roughly most of the time, you could have got similar results by waiting for the candle to close. The difference is, though, is if I decided to enter mid candle and the candle closed like super bearish, like against my long trade, then that would really hurt my psychology. So for me, it's a psychological thing. It's not worth the psychological risk when it comes to futures. With options, I'm a little bit more lenient, though. Even on this trade, I waited till the end. But a lot of times on options, I'll enter half size, and that allows me to be a little bit more lenient. At least this trade I was full size in, though. So hopefully that makes sense. It's just a pure psychological thing for me. And it doesn't make that big of a difference. Also, you got to keep in mind you're back testing, right? If you've back tested your data for however many months you have, well, when you're back testing, you only enter at the close of candles. And if you like your back tested results, your goal is to match that forward testing. So you don't even need to worry about entering mid candle because your back testing is only at the end of the candle. On top of that, because your back testing indicates that you should be entering towards the close of the candle, and you stray from that data and act on your own, and if that happens to be a mistake, that's going to be really hard to accept psychologically. And now you're going to be opening the door to deterioration and start the spiral. I'm just finally getting into PC GTA 5. Stonky, you are like freaking 8 years late, buddy. But I will say though, when GTA 6 drops, this entire server will be on it. We will it'll be great. Sadly, I couldn't hop in any of the other trades in time. There weren't any other trades. It was one trade. It was one hypothesis, and I entered half of my trade in SPX and half in QQQ. It was only one trade. You didn't miss out. Blockchain says, so for futures, I know you mentioned Apex many times for its 90% off. Would that be more valuable for a first timer opposed to Trade-Evade? Okay, the prop firm is the firm that gives you your funded accounts, your evaluation accounts that you get paid out of. But the prop firms operate on the Trade-Evade brokerage, okay? So if you decide not to use a prop firm and you do Trade-Evade, you're risking your own money, and yeah, you're cooked if you do that. Now, I think the Apex sale ended, and I would not buy Apex unless it's 80% off. So if there's not at least an 80% off discount, you can check with coupon code SAVE now. where you can run a Top Step for $50. Top Step has more lax rules, but I recommend Apex for beginners because it's just simply cheaper. We will have a Discord full of profitable traders before you get GTA 6. That doesn't even, that's like a solid 80% chance, 90% chance, and that's not even a crazy bet. I mean, right now, what, 20 to 30% of our active members are profitable? Make more money than they lose trading. Obviously the community is going to grow this year, so it's going to be difficult, but I'm hoping for 50% profitable traders by the end of this year. And yeah, make sure you guys cancel the renewal. You're not a huge gamer. That's okay. That's the beauty about server is you don't have to do much. I only play video games when I can because it prevents me from spending money and keeps me in the office, so I'm more around and doing things that I should be doing. We will all be part of the 50%. Then it'll be 100%, but yeah, that works. I meant Tradeify. I don't have much experience with Tradeify. I don't like the newer prop firms. Lucid's newer, but a lot of my community has been okay with Lucid. But pretty much it's only Apex and Top Step here. And then you have My Funded Futures. What is it, My Funded Futures or it's Take Profit Trader. Sorry, Take Profit Trader. We have Apex and Top Step for the big ones. And then Take Profit Trader and Lucid. But any more trades today? Not any more options trades, but I will be executing my future strategy for the second and third hour. I can't do that until another 30 minutes. And guys, keep in mind with my future strategy, it's not like my options. I don't choose whether I get in or not, okay? I have a specific strategy, and if I determine I'm triggered in, I have to get in regardless of how I feel. It's a much more mechanical strategy, and it's a long-term kind of income builder. So, and yesterday was the first red day in a bit, so I did add a, actually I should do that now. Add a PA to the group. $650 for a lot is better than, guys, that's still way too much money. Apex is freaking $20 per valuation and $60 activation fee during the discounts. Guys, that's why I don't promote a lot of things in my channel. Apex 90% off and some occasional 80% offs if the activation fee's low are the only things that I promote because otherwise it's not good value. But Wonton says Tradeify is great. Got moved to live with them. Fast payouts within 5 minutes of requesting. Awesome. By the way, some of you guys have not started the path to success, Wonton SRT. Start that path to success so your subscription gets cheaper. And so many of you guys are profitable, but you're not elite traders yet. You don't have that role. So you guys are missing out on the beautiful rainbow master trader role. And I want you guys to have that role. Makes the community look good. So Apex definitely been a pain for me. But to be honest, I think they treat me better because they know I own. I think Apex may treat me a little bit better because I've been with them for 3 years. Something like that. Coming up on 3 years, I think. And I own a community. But to be honest, here's the thing. If you trade 1 ES, 5 MNQ on their 50K accounts, and you are consistent, you will have no problems. Apex pays out so many tens of millions every month that they don't care about your $2,000, right? They just have advanced filters to filter out all the people that they feel are, scamming them or not trading consistently. If you have a strategy developed and you're consistent, you're not going to get denied payouts. The only times I've been denied payouts, which again, I've been denied payouts and it freaking sucks. But it's when I actually broke the rules, whether it was 30%, whether it was something else. It's when I actually broke the rules. And here's the thing I say. That is so bearish. What a perfect exit on my calls. That's freaking beautiful. That's a great put trade. Now, I'm not trading anymore. I already closed Thinkorswim. But that's a decent SPX put trade to demand. Looks freaking great. I love selling the top, though. Isn't that the best, guys? But you're not going to have Apex if you don't break the rules. And the thing I say about Apex, they're cheap. They offer the most leverage. 20 PA accounts, you can't get that anywhere else. And for me, building an actual system, that's the most profitable for me. But on top of it, I completely forgot what I was going to say. Oh, if you can get payouts on Apex, you can do any other prop firm. Apex is the hardest one to get payouts on. If you use Apex for cheap practice and you use it well to become a skilled trader, you can do anything anywhere. You can easily get payouts on Top Step, Take Profit Trader, Lucid, all of them. You can just get them everywhere, literally everywhere. So that's another thing too. Oh yeah, it is news release, huh? Never mind, I probably would not have entered puts on that candle with it being a news release, but for structures, price action charting, do you have any good go-to bookses? Here's the thing, blockchain. I'm mostly self-taught because trading has been my entire life for 6 years straight. It'll be 6 years in April. So I'm mostly self-taught. Now I have very good TA courses and master classes. I don't really feel comfortable talking about them though because I don't want to sound like a billboard. Like these live streams are just a billboard advertising. That's not the purpose of them. But if you DM me on Discord, I can chat with you. If you're interested, if you DM me on Discord. And you might not be able to DM me on Discord, try DMing me. Let me pin this message real quick. No, I can't. Try DMing me right now. ES did get to demand. That is beautiful. I mean, you had bearish liquidity sweep. You've invalidated majority of the move and NQs in supply. How long did it take you to become profitable? I first flipped profitable after trading for 9 months. Lost it all. Profitable again. Lost it all. Profitable again. And then finally profitable. So to finally start getting good and more consistent, like it's kind of like 2 years ish. But I was making money before that. It's it's complicated. A lot of you guys in my community understand, like, you're technically profitable because you put in more money than you lost, but you're still dealing with some consistency issues. You guys are lucky though, because if I had funded futures to trade when I started trading, life would have been easy. Because now your blowups don't cost tens of thousands of dollars, and you have to start over. But yeah, it's kind of a complicated answer. But I first flipped profitable within. It was February of 21. That was with options. That was with options. My funded futures trading doesn't start for 25 minutes. And I don't know if I'm going to get triggered into much. But that is a bullish liquidity sweep on ES. NQ is strong. NQ wants to go back to high of day. I think NQ wants to see these pivots up here. We'll see if this demand holds. I think Project X platform is the easiest layout. Project X is freaking terrible platform. They're always down. They have issues every single month. TradeAvate's great. TradeAvate, you can, if you're trading one single account, the best trading experience you can have is linking it to your TradingView and trading directly on TradingView. It's the most easiest, straightforward thing ever. You take your little tool, you draw out your trade, you put your orders on the chart, and you sit there and watch it until one of your orders hits. So that's the easiest. But TradeAvate's fine. I don't have any issues with TradeAvate. I don't trade on TradeAvate directly. I have so many tabs open that I place my orders on TradeAvate, but all my analysis is done on TradingView. All my analysis and stuff is done on TradingView. I would show you guys a pic of my setup, but I can't send pictures in the chat. Oh, that is a bounce on 61.8. Yeah, nice. Nice hook. Which is the easiest? Which one is the easiest to trade in TradingView? TradeAvate. But don't make any brash decisions until you consult one of our success managers, because if you're starting to get into trading correctly, that is a beautiful liquidity sweep on ES. NQ looks great to IF day. If you're seriously thinking about getting started, learn from people that have been doing it for years and don't make the same mistakes. I sent to Dev, TCG, so on and so forth. I sent a message in that channel below on your screen. There it happened. Just passed 2 emails with that news. Okay, all right. Yeah, and that's the thing. SRT says Apex is tricky because of the rules, but they've paid me every time I follow the rules, and that's true, right? Especially I like that Apex is only 8 days now. It used to be 10, and there's not a request window, between the 15th and 20th and the 1st and the 5th. So it's fine. It's just, the rules are tricky, but there's a learning curve. But if you follow the rules, you'll get paid. No problem. Aw, Dave, that freaking sucks, dude. Oh, by the way, Dave, message Mr. Gladiolus. He said one of the people said you have him as you're his success manager, right? Oh, you did message him? Okay. Because last night he said that you didn't, so I was making sure. And by the way, for all you people that are novice trader or below in the path to success, you guys have a available success manager free of charge, someone to check in on you every single week, someone you can consult with, someone to point you in the right direction, and make sure you get the most value out of your investment, completely free. So if you don't have a success manager, open a support ticket at the top of these channels and request one, and one will be assigned to you. Take advantage of all the resources here. Is mentorship like that? No, the mentorship is something different, Jimkin. Mentorship will go through February, and I'm not doing one this year. I'll do one in January of 2027. Trade link to trade view. Tradecopia. Yeah, yeah, Diamond. Which one's the easiest? Okay, I already answered that. Instead of a success manager. I'm not sure I understand your question, Jimkin. Because the mentorship is small groups, and you guys work with me every single week. Yeah, Dave, do you remember the whole spiel about the pivot relevancy? Like, you know how to tell how relevant a pivot is? I mean, so you don't think so? Okay, in the Mastering the Market Open masterclass, we talk about that, right? We have one of the slides in the beginning is obviously pivots, which you know, but then pivot relevancy. Go back and watch that. If you can't find it, ping me in the staff chat and we'll figure that out. So, pivot relevancy is one. And then what's in the way of that pivot? How strong is the trend? How strong is the ticker you're trading, or weak? How much supplier demand is in the way? What's the risk to award? It's kind of discretionary when you kind of weigh it out. For me, I chose this pivot because our next ones are a lot further away. As you can see, we already started having some big rejections up here, especially right here. Right? When you start rejecting as you're getting to a supply or a pivot, that's indicative that it's, there's sellers getting in early for a reason because there's more sell orders to come. And then also between, it's either this pivot or the next one. So the way I look at it is if there's a bunch of pivots on my chart, one here, one here, well, I look at it as how much overall the odds of my trade. What are the odds of it hitting PT and stop loss? Okay. So let's say I just hypothesize, there's no way to know the odds, but I hypothesize that this trade's got a 60% shot to get to this PT. Well, how much are the odds to get to this PT? Probably still 60%, right? Typically always go to this, unless there's a ton of supply and stuff. And then maybe this is 60, but this drops to like 40 because there's a bunch of supply in the way and it started chopping up. Well, I don't want that. But if this pivot is all the way up here, and I think there's a solid 65% chance to get to this pivot, well, it could be that my odds of extending my PT from here to here don't actually decrease at all, because once it gets to here, it's invalidated the majority of a major move, and it happens to be a perfect double top up here. So if we get to here, I'm pretty confident that we're also going to get here, right? So that's kind of the way I go about that. If that makes sense. But it's pretty discretionary. Are SPX puts still valid? I mean, they're really weak. I think NQ's trying to work to high of day. And ES has a lot of demand right here, so I think it's a gamble. It's definitely better than QQQ puts, but it's definitely a gamble. Cap says one of the success managers reached out. I thought they were a scammer because they said, "Don't worry, I'm not a scammer," so I deleted their message. Type in chat, Cap, what would be the perfect message that they can send so you wouldn't think they're a scammer? Maybe they can take some advice. Also, forgot what I was gonna say. I still have 15 minutes till I can trade futures, so still got some time. Just exactly what a scammer would say. Type in a language. A scammer would never start off a message with, "Hey, brother." Right? And I know scammers aren't listening right now. Maybe they are. So if you start off with that, I think you'll be all right. Ryan's message to me was pretty good. Gotta drop the sauce, Reese. It puts are paying. SPX did end up dropping more. It looks pretty good. I'm starting to lean bearish to this pivot. I mean, we're starting to enter a lot of demand, so I think there's a good shot we have a strong bounce somewhere like this, but I think the odds are pretty decent that, we end up towards this pivot at some point. But then again, NQ didn't quite get 5-day either, but we'll see. Maybe have a list of names somewhere to reference who the managers are. It's Connor, Ryan, T Crafty, Rakai, TCG Dev. It's most of the mods. Yeah. It's most of the staff members. Oh, I'm glad that worked out, Dave. Oh, and loan. Yeah, loan. You reached. Okay, I'll take a look at that in a bit. Whoever DM'd me, did that guy DM me from the stream? No. Yeah, I have to see. No, it's not, Huck. And that's the thing, Huck. And that's why I've never run ads for the server or tried to grow it. Is like I've been teaching here for years, and there's so much education that without the path to success, every single new person that joins, I need to hold their hand and tell them what channel to start in, where's the education, what order do I watch all this education in. It's a pain. But now that the path to success is made, the success managers are there's. I mean, there's still more work to do, but they're being pretty solidified. It's starting to be a place where we can mass produce profitable traders. That's kind of the goal. Huck says I'm like 90% done with the path to success, and I've been profitable for 6 weeks. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. Primavera, it's in this Discord. So it's just with Discord. So mobile's fine. It's just a Discord bot. It's a Discord bot within the server. So it's not a problem. Yeah, taking quizzes on the mobile though, they can get cut off. And at some point this month, I'm gonna revamp a lot of the quizzes and kind of redo some of the quizzes. Yeah, I feel that, Huck. I feel that. I've been slacking on my back testing too. I've been really slacking. So today I'm gonna try to iron all that out on the daybed. That's good, Dave. That's good. You didn't. Love to hear it. Strategy builder solid, dude. By the way, guys, I've been working on the strategy builder. Um, the comparison mode, the filters work properly. There are no more errors with the comparison mode. You're able to override your sizes. The one thing that I've been stuck on, and frankly, I just don't have time to fix, is it's been requested that with the scalability analyzer, you can set the max amount of accounts to like 20 to match Apex, which means you can't add another one till one blows. That's been having a lot of issues and being very complicated. It's not working properly yet. I don't know when that's going to be done. Um, but yeah, the strategy builder is still getting improved slowly. Yeah, yeah, it's uh, guys. You can do the type Primavera in this chat right now. Type /start survey. Just use the slash commands. Yeah, so you would do your back testing on ES, Huck. All your back testing will be done on ES. The strategy builder is designed for futures, not stocks right now. And then you put screenshots of your entry and exit in there. Anyone in the YouTube chat have any interesting comments or questions or anything like that? If not, I'm gonna step out for 5 minutes, grab water, and then we'll see if I make money on futures. I don't see any trades at the moment. I mean, NQ strong. We're going for bulls. We're going against. For the bullish case, we're going against liquidity sweep on NQ and supply. For the bearish case, though, we're going against demand, and that's it. You know, I'm starting to think I may be triggered into shorts early on. Now, I could already be triggered in because, I mean, what do we have? We have liquidity sweep, we have liquidity momentum, and weak. That's 3 going against demand. Boom. But that's kind of an unnatural trigger. That's just me entering just because I can, which is a really gray area. It would be nice if we put in a nice bounce and at least invalidated that bounce, because then technically it's valid. But better yet, bullish consolidation would be nice. Just being here. Now, Diamond, you're holding down the fort, dude. I mean, there's 51 people watching right now. There, we just, you know, people are shy. It's okay. But Diamond, how was this stream? I know this is the first one that actually worked. So was it much better than Monday? I'm busy clicking. Okay, yeah. Also, yeah, trading too. Trading takes clicking. Yo from SOA. I read that as Sea of Thieves for some reason. What's SOA, Nesso? Diamond says much better. Awesome. And again, the quality isn't very good. It's only 1080. And there is a 6-second delay. I could maybe go to, no, I can't do ultra low latency where it's a 1-second delay, because then the quality would be a lot worse. I think this is kind of a happy medium for the YouTube stuff. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab water and then we'll see what futures brings. All right, I'm back. Lucky says, I'm new to trading. Can anyone tell me which is better? Start with futures, dude. Start with futures. Dragonisa says 25,890 feels a little high. No, I think that's realistic. NQ's been very strong. Totally think it can get there. I don't know about a whole nother rally though. I'm thinking we may get to 899 on NQ. As far as ES, I don't know. We'll DM you. Yeah, let me know if you DM me. If you're unable to DM me, just comment on like this live stream. You can send me a trade. You can send me a friend request. My name's just Bryce Trades on Discord. Yeah, made good money on Bryce's QQQ, but gold caught me. Okay, congrats on the money. I think ES gets 704. I don't know, 7,004, that's far. That's really far. I don't know if I see it. Because what happened yesterday, we went on a rally, we fell, and then we went up again. I don't see it as much. Now I gotta start thinking here because I'm gonna have to start trading futures in 2 minutes. Am I triggered in? If we fall to here on ES. Now this isn't really bullish consolidation on NQ. I can't give a bullish consolidation, even though it is a bullish pattern because it's too disproportional. What will I have on ES? Well, I will have liquidity momentum, 1. Liquidity sweep, 2. And maybe weak, 3 going against demand if we invalidate this drop. So if we invalidate most of this drop, I will be triggered in. The shorts. A little bit unnatural. I could wait for another oscillation, but I'm technically will be triggered in. So, and keep in mind, my future strategies, I do probability analysis. I have to enter if I have 2 more mechanical reasons to enter than to not enter. So if I have 3 good reasons, 1 bad reason, 4 good reasons, 2 bad reasons, so on and so forth, I have to enter. Which means it is much more mechanical. It's a mechanicalized version of my options trading strategy, which means I have a lot less leeway to do things that I want to do. Diamond, what's your Discord username? And are you in my place or what's your home server? Okay, it is now 8:30. Fill out my journal real quick. It did not validate majority of it. Yeah, it's kind of close enough though. I did put it in an order. Let's see if it fills me. It's okay. It's not great. If it doesn't fill me on this candle, I'll have to fill at the end of the candle. Yeah, we'll see. It's okay. I'm not a huge fan of this trade. There's some gray area here. And I would not fill unless that buying wick invalidates. That looks bad. That looks pretty bad. It didn't validate. Yeah, I triggered in regardless. We'll see what happens. It looks pretty bullish though. It looks like NQ is going to get new high of data. Looks like it's actually now flipping stronger. That's typically what happens lately. That is the most bullish candle ever. Why if you're trading more discretionary, you got to wait for those wicks to invalidate. This one's kind of debatable. We'll have to review this because it's kind of debatable. I am technically triggered in. That is super bullish. I'm definitely gonna have to re-enter when we come back down. You gotta love the 1 minute trades. And okay. It's a nice break to the upside. It looks like NQ is gonna be able to get to 899. I don't not there's no long trades I could take though, because no matter what, I'm going against supply and a liquidity sweep. It's only short trades I'm triggered into. Okay. Gotcha, that makes sense. Diamond. Yeah, I'm technically triggered in if we come back down. Because what? I'll have NQ supply. Yes, liquidity momentum. Yes, liquidity sweep and weak still. That last trade was questionable 4-1 because the candle closed while NQ is technically still in this extra supply. This supply down here doesn't count. Looks like ES is strong though, and it's yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if ES actually gets to high of day. That was a really bullish short squeeze that happened. I'm kind of thinking ES is going to get to high of day. Unfortunately, I cannot get in though. I'm not triggered in, but I don't think it's a bad gamble at all for ES new high of day. That is very bullish. See if ES can consolidate. I mean, if I can get bullish consolidation, maybe I can put something together. Let me see. We'd have bullish consolidation, one strong liquidity momentum. No, still, even if we bullishly consolidate, I can't enter with that stupid ES liquidity sweep there. So I am stuck on the sidelines. There's the 899 PT. And if you don't know, that pivot came from here. Not a very big, but it's good enough size. All these are kind of the same. Bearish liquidity sweep on NQ. Am I going to get forced to enter? Let's see. I don't have a volume spike. I'll have to enter its liquidity sweep supply. If one is weaker than the other, I have to enter a short reversal trade, which is actually against my bias. And it actually looks like NQ is starting to flip weaker. And also keep in mind, every red day, I add one PA. So small red days are fantastic for me, or big green days. Small green days don't really do anything for me. Nothing much quick flips, to be honest. Folks, I'm gonna have to. Am I gonna have to enter a reversal trade on NQ? NQ is flipping weaker. Like, it's looking like I'm gonna have to freaking enter this. Now, the last 3 days in a row, the reversal trades did play out, so I think this one's not gonna play out. So I'm tempted to not take it, but I am very triggered in now. Oh my god. Oh. I mean, I filled it, but it didn't fill my exit. Hello? Um, it might go all the way back up to my. I filled it. I got a freaking terrible fill, but I filled it because I'm triggered in. Man, if I would have filled that a second quicker, that would be awesome. There's like huge lag that happened too. It's the highest I can. 88's too high. Oof. Kind of thinking this is gonna turn it. I kind of thinking this is gonna be a red trade. It's gonna go all the way back up. I'm not gonna lie. That's a really strong reversal candle. And in fact, I'm also kind of triggered into a long, except I can't because I already filled this. But that looks like the biggest bear trap ever. So I think I just got completely screwed there. It's a liquidity sweep for you, though. What happened? I don't know. It's going to go back up, then probably come back down. That freaking sucks. But I mean, I have to fill there, though. That's a problem. You got bearish liquidity sweep. You had bearish freaking liquidity momentum. Um, and NQ was weak at the time. But if I didn't fill that, I'd be triggered into a reversal trade, I believe. Never mind. No, I wouldn't. No, I would not. Thinking today's gonna be a bad day for the futures. I don't like this price action at all. I keep getting triggered into things that I don't really want to get triggered into. It'd be awesome though, because if I got the fill I wanted to up here, my hard PT would have been here and it would have perfectly swept. But because of how fast it dropped, it couldn't fill my order, and it just randomly filled me on the way down here. And it wasn't even a market order here, which doesn't really make sense. It just placed the limit that low. I feel that trade because NQ was weaker. It really was after hitting the pivot, but now, yeah, I'd say it's actually still weaker by a little bit. Not by much though. And I can't put my stop loss any further away. I'm really just going 1 to 1. Or no, in reality, my PT is that stupid pivot on ES. I don't even have a hard order, but I don't know. I think this trade's going to stop out. I think it was just the world's biggest bear trap that happened. People are trying to figure out why the algos just dumped the market. If they don't figure it out soon, we're going to squeeze all the way back up. Unless someone knows. China video news pausing and 2000 chip purposes. Was it? Was it that? I don't know what the news was. Hmm. Anyways, it's still 50. I have no faith in this trade. That was way too big a reversal. I kind of thought it was going to get all the way to demand, but or the NQ would get to demand, but ES got yeah, this demand is a force to be reckoned with on ES. Uh, yeah, I guess so. TCG, that would make sense, and that would be bearish for the US market because that would indicate China's going to start making their own chips. NQ is flipping super strong, so that absolutely screws me over. I don't think Nvidia is halting sales. I think China stopped buying, which is bad because that means they're going to try to make their own chips. Yeah, yeah, Huck. Right after he said that, the market started going back up. Be right back, guys. That is really bullish. NQ's really freaking strong. If we get just a little bit higher, I'm thinking NQ may see high of day again. We can break over 870 on NQ. I think we got high of day in the bag. Or close to it. Because that is a lot of strength on NQ. Yeah, that's bullish. I'll stop out. It's unfortunate, like I'm triggered into the damn trade kind of regardless, but that sucks though. If I filled better, then my PT would have been closer and it would have been a fantastic green trade. But unfortunately, like today is not looking like a great day futures wise. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do much this second and third hour. I don't know, a drop like that though, you know, I'm leaning bullish for NQ new high of day, but not really bullish after that. I'm kind of thinking we'll come back down. Let's see if NQ gets high of day. Hopefully it does, because that'll be a good stop loss if it does. Like another red day on futures though, which will make 2 in a row. No, looks like it's going for it. You know what? Never mind. Because that volume spike, if I didn't enter this, I think I might have been triggered in. I mean, of course I couldn't because I had to enter that short trade, but that short trade didn't happen. I think I would have had to enter this long trade because that's a liquidity sweep, the volume spike, and liquidity momentum, I believe. If you just take it to the high, um, and ES looks stronger. But if you just take it to the high, this would be the trade here that I would have had to enter. It's kind of unfortunate that that's the order of events that played out. If my fill would have been better, this would be 2 really big green trades in a row. If I could have got this fill up here, which I tried to get, it would have been freaking fantastic. It's really unfortunate, really unlucky. Let's see if we get another bearish liquidity sweep of Hive Day. I don't know if I'm going to be able to re-enter shorts, though, because now I'm going against a bullish liquidity sweep for them. So that may be it for my futures trades for a bit. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to re-enter shorts. Because the best case, I'll have liquidity sweep, liquidity momentum when it comes back down. I can't count this supply. So liquidity sweep, liquidity momentum, and maybe weak going against this bullish liquidity sweep and ES demand, which doesn't work. Unless I'm triggered into a reversal trade. That's really the only way. If we sweep liquidity right here or here and then come down, I'll have a liquidity sweep supply and one will be weaker than I'm technically triggered in. And I would just go to the ES demand. Maybe not even to the ES demand, just the halfway point. Because then I'd have to include the liquidity sweep as a factor, and I don't want to do that. You know, the unfortunate thing is when I go back and review today, I wouldn't even be able to enter this trade in back testing because you can't really detect NQ's weakness from this. You can't really detect it. It's undetectable because this candle was so big and so freaking fast that you can't see how weak it was after it swept. So this trade won't even be included in my data, unfortunately. That's going to happen sometimes. Looks like NQ's going to get to the next pivot. Nice job, Ant-Man. That's awesome. Jealous, buddy. It's perfect double top on ES. Needs to break. Comes the next pivot on NQ, and he's about to sweep the double top. Let's see if this turns into a bullish liquidity sweep. I'm starting to just kind of lean bullish for NQ to break all this supply, at least on the 1 minute. There's more on the bigger time frames. Because that was so much shorts that just happened. The fact that that's invalidated, I wouldn't be surprised if NQ fades up for the next like 20 minutes. What's up, Fifi? Looks like NQ's starting to flip weaker. We did miss that pivot on NQ, so I'm very bullish to the next pivot. If I were trading fully discretionary, like in options, this would be a dip by opportunity. Holy smoke. Oh, wait, you're talking to the reversal. All right, that top broke on ES. I mean, we have liquidity momentum on ES. We have bullish liquidity sweep, and we're starting to have strong. But I'm still against supply and a liquidity sweep. It's still 3-2. If I can get bullish consolidation as well, I think I'd be able to enter. The problem is this is technically a pivot here on ES. I do have to leave this up. So it'll be continuation on a pivot. My hands are kind of tied with getting triggered into trades right now. Where's your next pivot? ES doesn't have one to all-time highs. NQ, it's the next yellow line at the top of this supply. See you later, Capt. Yes, is becoming a decent amount stronger. Well, let's see. NQ could technically be considered bullish consolidation here. So we have liquidity momentum, strong on ES, liquidity sweep, bullish consolidation on NQ. That's 4 going against liquidity sweep supply. I can technically finesse along if NQ puts in a small green candle here. It's very gray area, but I technically can because this is a small bull pennant, and ES is no longer continuation on a pivot as well. So I'm technically able to enter this. Bunch of gray area though, you know. I think I'm just gonna keep stacking losses to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of today's stuff, but if this candle closes, I'm technically triggered in. Because ES is definitely stronger now. Let's see, I'll give it to the last 10 seconds. It's looking like I'm probably gonna fill though, because I can make out for it too. Just seems a bit like a stretch. I did place my order. It did not fill me. It'll fill me someday. Now it did. Here's the argument though. The argument is this a bull pennant? It's the smallest kind of bullish consolidation. If it wasn't so symmetrical, it would not be. But it is pretty symmetrical. It's completely up to you though. This is a pretty gray area deal. Unfortunately, it looks like unfortunately as well, ES just flipped super weak, so I would not probably lean with not entering it. ES did definitely flip weak. That definitely did happen. NQ looks really good now. ES knew that I got in and it flipped super weak. What a freaking scammer. We'll see. I'm bullish for NQ to break supply, but now with ES's new weakness, I don't know if ES is going to make a dive day. We have liquidity sweep, liquidity momentum. Strong. Be right back. Man, NQ looks really good. ES looks terrible. ES does not want to go anywhere near high of day. NQ is going to break this and let me manually chart the rest of the supply that's missing. Yeah, this is from too far back. So let me just trace over this. How's that look on the 1 minute? Yeah, it looks pretty good. Can't complain. So those are the extra zones I drew. Is that trailing T Crafty? Why'd that stop hit? Is that like a trailing stop loss? Is that what happened? Well, ES is still weaker than NQ, unfortunately. It's not doing very good. Not a huge fan. Wait 1 second, I gotta take this call. NQ, okay, I'm back. NQ's bullishly consolidating again. ES doesn't look very good though. ES is very weak. ES doesn't want to go up anymore, it looks like. Watch for potential cup and handle. Honestly, if my stop loss hits, I feel like it's going to get swept and it's going to go back up. I'm not really leaning bearish on ES at all. I'm leaning fairly bullish to IF but its weakness is not doing any favors. And I think there's a pretty good shot either right now or after we hit this pivot, NQ pulls back to roughly here, which is a very minor deal. Very minor little pivot. This is fun, huh? ES flipping super weak. Love to see it. See, if I entered NQ, this is where it would be at. It's only right after I entered these things happen. Thinking NQ is going to pull back to here, and ES is so weak that it's going to hit my stop loss, perfectly sweep, and then head back up. Unless I get bailed out and this bull flag actually breaks to the upside on the Nasdaq, then that'd be pretty good. It's trying to break to the upside. And I'm starting to flip more and more bearish on ES. ES is looking really, really bad. It's like itching to go down right now. Once NQ hits new high of day, ES is going to be at a very, very high risk of plummeting if NQ sweeps that even by a little bit. NQ is indeed sweeping it. ES's candle didn't flip as red as I thought though. It may be starting to catch back up in strength. That's me being optimistic, but I expected ES to invalidate that buying wick when NQ put in this selling wick, but it didn't. Interesting. So if I entered NQ, which I couldn't, because it definitely wasn't stronger, this would be my PT here. It's almost there. Oh, never mind. There's the ES weakness that I know and hate. Looks terrible. I'm gonna hang out on my phone. It's still far away from every single one of my orders. By the way, I don't remember who was in here yesterday talking about Greenland. Like all of a sudden, right after that, I see Greenland getting talked about. It looks like the U.S. is going to take Greenland, and I completely agree with it. Um, but it actually looks like that's actually going to happen, which I did not expect. I'm 100% for it though, 100%. I mean, I end up texting Trump after our conversation since it made sense. Okay, yeah, Connor, that's probably why. I appreciate that. And this is freaking awful, by the way. Like, this is awful. This future session's terrible. Look how weak ES is. I entered when NQ was on this candle. Are you kidding me? What the heck are we doing? No, unfortunately, Brian ES isn't flipping strong. I wish that was the case. It's not. It's terribly weak. This red candle is ES is a little stronger, but it's, I don't know, man. It's rough out here. It is rough out here. But today's review, I'll do futures review as well because I need to do them. It'll be a interesting review. Looks like NQ's starting to hit a wall. It looks good for a pullback. Let's see how far it actually does, or maybe it just goes sideways. Like I said, that was so much shorts that entered the market here. For them all to get invalidated almost immediately, that's a lot of squeezing to happen. And like I said, when it got to IFD, I said I wouldn't be surprised if it faded upwards for 20 minutes. And it literally has been fading upwards for 20 minutes. Just only one ticker, though, unfortunately, not both of them. But I'm going to keep hanging on my phone. Futures is much more boring than options. Much slower paced. It looks like a bearish pullback on NQ, not so much on ES. I think I'm pretty bullish for this to come back up, even if it sweeps my stop loss. But we'll see. Maybe it turns into a more major pullback. This candle on NQ, the last red candle, is actually pretty bearish. Haven't really gotten any on ES though. But I'm probably gonna be we'll see. It depends how ES gets to my stop loss. It's possible that I re-enter off the basis of a bull flag on ES, but I don't know. I'm not getting really anything today as far as futures are concerned. Now that's a bearish candle. We could go all the way back down. It needed a bounce right there, and it tried and it failed. So now I'm starting to flip bearish for this to come all the way back down. So I think it's gonna be the first big red day of futures this year. I don't know if we're gonna go all the way back down. It kind of looks like it, but it got some small bounces on the way. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think I'm out of trades. I don't really have much else that I can be triggered into. Really, the only potential green trade I had was this one if it filled me right, but it did not. But right now, I have liquidity momentum. ES isn't even that weak anymore. It's still a little weaker, but yeah, I have liquidity momentum and weak. If I include this as a bearish liquidity sweep, I have that, and I could take it to demand. That is true, though. I mean, if I do have this bearish liquidity sweep, I can take this to demand. That's definitely something that can happen, but that's really gray area. You could take that if you want, but that's just really gray area. Because it didn't happen. This liquidity sweep didn't happen to support this move. It happened to support this one. Especially just going to demand, I don't really think so. If it's a way bigger trade, like somewhere down here, then yeah, it would support it. But for just here to demand, I think that trade would be a fallacy to enter. If I do go back up, um, if we do go back up, I mean, it would still be liquidity momentum. One could be stronger. That's two. Bullish liquidity sweep, that's three. Going against supply and still the bearish liquidity sweep on ES, unfortunately. Because that would be the PT that I'm going for. If I were just going for this price target, which would be a small one, um, then it wouldn't. It would not. But that's just taking too many gray area trades, to be honest. Last year was kind of gray area, but it was indeed bullish consolidation. That was the only kind of iffy thing about it, but it definitely was bullish consolidation. It played out as such. Just ES freaking lost all of its strength. Yeah, not seeing another trade at the moment. No, I'm talking right now. Spidey. Yeah, it's looking pretty bullish. Looks like now ES is stronger than NQ again. It looks really good. It is technically a trade to this high because I'm not really going against the liquidity sweep. But a majority of this would have to invalidate first. And then even then it's kind of a sketchy trade. I'm kind of okay taking it. I won't really give it head and shoulders either because this neckline's way further down. But realistically, I only enter at the close of the candle, and this candle's not going to close small enough to where the risk reward's going to be worth it. I mean, we can take a gamble on it. It is closing like a small green candle. Is it stronger though? That's the question. It is definitely stronger by a little bit. Not by much. No, not by enough though. Actually, yeah, it definitely is because it invalidated more. I'm okay taking a risk on it. But then again, it could potentially be just because I'm entering a bunch of gray area trades, which wasn't a great idea though. So, I mean, it's really up to y'all. I don't know. Could technically, because I'm not, you don't have to count this liquidity sweep as a reason if you're not going to that pivot. Um, so, but high day isn't much higher. Looks like ES flipped weak again though. So if you're taking this, maybe NQ is actually better. I don't know. I feel like it can just get another oscillation. It kind of looks like the entire market's starting to compress a decent bit. Yeah. I don't know if just looking at the ES chart, I'd be a little bit more bearish for the break. Um, but looking at the NQ chart, I'm a little more bullish for this pivot up here, despite the heavier supply. Looks like NQ's doing a little bit better again. How much would this trade be here if you were to go to the pivot? Uh, a little bit bigger win than ES, but not much. Small wins. I hang on my phone to see which way this compression breaks. Looks still kind of 50-50. I'm leaning like it's maybe no, it's truly 50-50. I don't know which way this compression is going to break, but it's gearing up to. I can't also tell which one wants to actually be stronger. It's about even as well. But good luck with that trade loan. See you later. I'm not printing on futures. I printed on options though. The highest that they got to, J Leo, yeah, I entered at 57 cents, and they got, I mean, the highest they got to looks like 1.75. It's the highest they got to. Looks like it's getting ready to break to the upside. But that's not while I was in the trade. That's all the way over here. Um, yeah, while I was in the trade, it was 1.2 something. Yeah, like 125. It didn't get really any higher right here. Just right here was the highest. It looks like if you took this trade with me, it is working out. Kind of tired of the gray area trades though. Or not this. I didn't take the NQ trade. I would like to hold it for high of day, but that's just kind of cheating because I didn't include this liquidity sweep as a reason. Because I'm not going for the liquidity sweep. I'm going for, the most closest thing possible, which is this. But it's a freaking small kind of crappy trade. I don't know. They're not a fan. A lot of gray area trades today. I need to review this extensively. And it's hard to, it's again, the dangers with gray area trades is much harder to accept the outcomes if they're red. And as you guys can kind of see, if you lose on gray area trades, I'm much more likely to pull the trigger on gray area trades. Coming up, hence shifting from trading conservatively to trading more aggressively and bending things a little bit. So, CVS rejects his trend line or gets above it. I think NQ would look good to put in another oscillation. I don't know if that oscillation will come back up, but if NQ puts in another oscillation, that would look pretty decent. You're holding for I wish I could. If I were to choose, I don't think the probability of moving your PT from this one to this one decreases much at all. I just really can't. It's already so gray area as it is. I can't. I just simply can't get it. I'd be completely just straying from my strategy if I did that, because I'd have 3-2 reasons for sure. It's 3-1 and highly debatable right now, which is already me stepping a little bit too far outside of what I'm supposed to do. So that's why I have a big review session. But I do like new high of day. I like NQ to that pivot that it missed. I like all of it. And I told you guys, yes, this was a good stop loss previously. My previous stop loss was, this is the way the previous trade looked. It's at 88. It's a good stop loss because, if this is my PT, I would have had to have a negative risk to reward to avoid it, and that doesn't happen. I told you guys, though, even if it sweeps my stop loss, I'm kind of thinking it's still going to go up. But anyways, there it is. Should get high of day as well. One more win would be really nice because then it would be a really small red day and then good. I get to add an account. That'd be really nice. I don't know if I'm going to get that though. The only way I get that is if we sweep high day in reverse and I have to get into a reversal trade. There it is. Beautiful. I wish I can get away with it, man. That freaking sucks. Or this trade didn't sweep my stop loss because this trade was a damn good trade. Unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Doesn't look like a liquidity sweep either. I'll move this pivot up. I think we have supply on ES. It's just far back. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to trace over this supply. It's too far back for me to register on the 1 minute time frame. There it is. But yeah, no, psych isn't fantastic today. I'm feeling some minor temptations. Minor temptations, to be honest. That's a bullish candle in the Nasdaq. Very bullish candle. ES starting to flip weak though. I mean, I'd assume it maybe gets the supply, but this is a big pivot right here. And what zones just broke? This zone just broke. This zone just broke. This zone broke. Does that match the bigger time frame? It does. We are squeezing. Geez, NQ's gonna get to the next supply cluster. This thing looked good to get to supply. ES looks like it wants to pull back though. NQ looks great. Looks good for all-time highs, either later today or tomorrow. I don't think ES is gonna get there during this session. Definitely not, but wouldn't say definitely not, but most likely no. If we do bullishly consolidate, I will be triggered into a long trade. Because we do have trend, bullish consolidation, and NQ is strong. Hang on my phone until I can enter something. I'll be right back, guys. Looking like NQ is going to be putting in bullish consolidation here. That'll be my guess. See if it ends up doing it. How big is this pivot? Decent sized. That's a decent sized 15-minute pivot. Oh, wait a minute. We have a gap here. How did I not see this? Do you guys see this? What the heck? Hey Bryce, are you going to do more YouTube lives? First week of every month. First week of every month. My stupid question, how do you draw your zones? I have an indicator that does it for me. I do teach how to draw it as well because the indicator is a paid indicator. So yeah, it's up to you which if you want to learn it properly or just get the indicator. This is a gap, and I am bearish for this gap. It's not a daily gap though. We do have a gap above on NQ, which means if I were to enter NQ long, my B2 would be a long ways away. And I don't really want to enter longs. I mean, it's kind of really high already. Yeah, it is. But it's a smaller time frame gap, which is still a gap on futures, which is rare, and I'm still bullish for it to fill. It's just on the bigger time frames, it's not there. I can't even, the smallest time frame I can look at it for me is 5 minutes because it's too far back. For 5 minutes, and this is major. Like, look how much rejections we have up here. This supply cluster needs to break next time we come close. This is a gold mine right here. Look at these pivots. Pivot, pivot, pivot. This one barely swept. And then obviously the top of supply is probably going to be a pivot if you go back far enough. It's a freaking gold mine. The really good long trades will be here. I mean, I can mark this gap on the 15-minute. I'd rather just mark it right here. What time is this from? 1440. Yeah, you can mark it if you want. Can't really mark it on the 1 minute. It's not a full proper gap. But I am bullish for that to fill. We have a lot of good zones up here that need to break. NQ gap due to the contract change? It shouldn't be. I have B/adjust. Is it? If it's due to the contract change, I mean, it's still a gap though, you know? No, it's not. The contract date change happened days later. Because I have B-adjust, so I shouldn't get those big gaps for my contracts. That screw up my charts. Kind of turning into bullish consolidation though. Let's see, we would have bullish consolidation, strong trend going against supply. That's 3-1. However, if it's kind of happening on this pivot, ES is more above the pivot than NQ is. But if I zoom out and I mean, this bullish consolidation is kind of happening on the pivot. So I don't think I can enter it. Depends what it looks like, but this would be another gray area trade. And this trade would have to have a fib extension PT, which would be either from here or here. Sorry, I wasn't looking at YouTube chat much because I was doing that. Do you teach in one of your master classes? Yeah. If you go to this website, hang on. You visit this website, go to the indicators page. It's right there, and you can scroll and learn about it. But if you log in the top right corner, okay, so in the top right corner of the website, you can log in to access the dashboard, and then go to available recordings. And then you can go to the supply and demand masterclass, which teaches you everything you need to know about supply and demand trading. It's very, very valuable information. Yeah, of course. CS flipping stronger than NQ. ES keeps doing this to me. It keeps flipping a little bit stronger just to trigger me into ES longs, and then it just flips weak right after. Keeps playing with me. But it is stronger. And I wouldn't have to give it... If I entered up here, I wouldn't really have to give it continuation on a pivot. Would have to give it for NQ, though. So, yeah. It's not looking like I'm going to be able to enter this right now. I'm going to hang out on my phone, see what happens. Yeah, I'll take a look right now. Connor, hang on 1 second. Yeah, Connor, that's fine. Sorry, I haven't done that because I've been freaking trading, but let's have a. You guys can start doing that. But that's like the problem is that's kind of a message you don't really respond to. You know, you'll do a lot better if it's something they kind of respond to, like almost like a conversation starter. Let me work on something right now. Man, I'm getting nothing here. No bullish consolidation. If I get it, I will enter though. I pin a message. Oh, there we go. All right. Uh, yeah, I answer all that. I think that's pretty good. And honestly, I'm fine, calling everyone. It's only 15 minutes. And it's not like it's growing a ton, so it's not like I'm gonna have a bunch of calls and it's gonna overload my schedule. Honestly, 1 or 2 a day is plenty good. I'm long from 952. That's not a bad average. Looking bullish though. It is definitely now looking like all-time highs are in the works for ES. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's difficult to stay out of the market today, especially because that freaking big drop hornswoggled me right here. But it's definitely difficult to sit on my hands and watch this get to where I think it's gonna go without me in it. I mean, the last trade, even though it was a green trade, it's like I knew it was probably going to get to high of day and beyond at no extra risk to the overall odds of the trade, but can't do it. Perfect psych, because God forbid, if I enter longs now for all-time highs and it does reverse, that's accounts blown, because I'm not going to accept that. So, got to do it. Looking real bullish, folks. Real bullish for all-time highs. Looking pretty good. And let me check when my next NQ pivots are. Nowhere near. This is going to be the bullish consolidation. If I can get a small bullish consolidation here, I think I can get in. It looks to me like ES flips stronger. I need to look closely because we're in supply still. So it'll be trend bullish consolidation against supply. Oh wait, never mind. It's yeah, never mind. I have bullish liquidity sweep still. I don't even need it because bullish liquidity sweep supports this whole move. This whole move. So all I need is bullish consolidation, which I need 2 oscillations and I'm in. Which would really suck if I enter all the way up here and it loses, but it is what it is. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I don't think Brian's still in here, but I knew your name was Brian, so it looked a little familiar. Diamond, I don't think Diamond's still in here, but that emoji genuinely gives me epilepsy. I'm gonna go into freaking epileptic seizure. That's rough. Looking at that, that is rough. Let me zoom in on that. Yeah, that's rough to stare at. How's silver doing today? Okay. $15 minutes left that I can trade. I'm really hoping I can get this bullish consolidation because I'd like to take a gamble. Yeah, Jay Leo. I was big on getting everyone to get silver. Silver, Palantir were the 2 that I was big on. Did well. Did very well. Be right back, guys. I'm gonna step out for a second. All right, I'm back. So it's not bullish consolidation yet. Maybe it'll turn into it. I'll keep hanging out in case it does. Otherwise, this session's over in 15 minutes, and I'll be down by 2 green trades today. So not a huge red day. The outcomes could have been very different today if I got a freaking good fill on this. This really screwed this up. If I got a good fill on this, this trade would have been bright green, and I would have been triggered into longs for this pivot up here right after. Today will be radically different if I got that fill. However, as far as back testing is concerned, I wouldn't even take this trade. So I think back testing is concerned, I wouldn't have got this loss because I can't fill here because you can't tell it's weaker. And I would have been triggered into this long because it was stronger. Sorry, triggered into this right here. Bullish liquidity sweep, volume, liquidity momentum, strong, all those things. I would have been triggered into long right here. So yeah, this candle live screwed me up pretty badly, unfortunately. Today would have been a bright green day if that happened. But all right, I'm gonna go back to hanging out on my phone. NQ's back to being stronger than ES. I'm really hoping I can get a rejection before high of day, because then that would start the bullish consolidation. Need one more oscillation to get in. Looks like, unfortunately, ES is going to get high of day, which means I cannot get in to longs because it's not bullishly consolidating. Unfortunate. Otherwise, I'd love to go long for all-time highs. I'm very bullish for it to get there. It's not looking like my luck is in my favor today. Looks pretty good to get there though. I'm still hanging out though. If ES breaks high of day, then I'll leave right away because then the next 3 minutes don't mean anything. There's like a whopping 2% chance though that we reject here before high of day on ES. Only because NQ just got it. Yeah, so I'm triggered in. This is close enough to bullish consolidation to where if this red candle validates the ES, it's close enough. It'd be a lot better if we got one more red candle then came up, but then I'd be scared of it happening after the 10:30 mark. But if we can do that, then that'd be neat. Then I'd enter on NQ because I do have strength on NQ, so I don't even need strength though. I can just enter whatever. And as far as stop loss, I mean, you could put it anywhere and it's probably going to get swept. That's 100 point. That's 100 ticks there. ES is probably going to be a bigger win. This 27 ticks on ES is 185 on NQ, which is closer. ES is definitely making more money. But NQ would technically be the better trade, so I'd take NQ. All right, now I need it to come up. If it comes up, I'm in. If it doesn't come up by the 10:30 candle, I'm screwed. I am 100% confirmed in. Just need to wait for the last 10 seconds. As long as the last 10 seconds, it would be nicer if I got one more small green candle back up to ES to here, but I'm pretty much triggered in regardless. It's a good enough excuse as long as this doesn't close with a selling wick on ES. Yeah, that's good enough. All right, well, I filled it. And you know, technically, I could have filled long somewhere over here, but that's an unnatural trade. The first trade I felt was kind of unnatural as well because it's not like a proper trigger. Something like that's okay. Well, let's see if ES breaks to the upside or I get hornswoggled one last time today. It's technically 4-1. And, you know, again, one more small green candle would have been nice. But push comes to shove. I'm up against the time limit. I can't wait for it, unfortunately. And unfortunately, it did break to the downside. But the four reasons are you got strong trend, other bullish consolidation, which is this, and then liquidity sweep down here. Or you can go on ES's pivot sweeps a little bit bigger, but now pennants do often turn into flags, is what I'm hoping happens. But we'll see. My PT is not a hard piece whenever ES gets all-time highs. I don't know though, it's off to a terrible start. And NQ's kind of chopping upwards, which is not very good either. So I'm not very optimistic about it. That's a pretty bearish candle. It's like I may have got Hornswoggle this last one. NQ's strength is freaking beautiful. But it's not, unless ES bounces now, which this candle's not closing bouncy at all. No wick there on that candle on ES. It's looking like I got a Hornswoggle for my last trade. But I'll hang out for a bit longer. I do have stuff to do today, so if it takes forever, I'm not going to sit through this whole trade. My stop loss is fairly close. I think if my stop loss hits like the third trade I took that long, I do think it'll come back up. ES has gotten close enough now to high of day to where I think there's a really good chance it happens today. But I'll keep hanging on my phone for a bit longer, 5, maybe 10 minutes, see where it's at. If it's still kind of in the middle, I'll hop off, but this is the trade. I'm just going to have to keep eyeballing it because I don't have a hard PT order. I only have a hard stop loss. It looks like, unfortunately, NQ starting to flip weak, which is really unfortunate because I would have made more money if ES gets the PT. And if ES is the one that flips stronger, this win's going to be a very small win. But honestly, I'm going to hop out. If this gets back to break even, I'm going to hop out of voice. I'll say if it keeps heading to stop loss, that way I can just document it. But if we head back to break even, win or lose, it's going to be a while, probably 15, 20 minutes, based on how volatile the market is right now. So I'll hop out anyways. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for to happen. But regardless, if I hop out, the trade will stay on until one of my orders are hit. I was gonna hop out of voice if it hit break even, but the way it's kind of going right now, this bull pennant on ES turned into a descending broadening wedge, which is tomato potato with a bull flag, right? Pretty much same thing. I want to see if ES breaks this bull flag or this descending broadening wedge to the upside. All right, well, it did come back down to break even, so that means this trade, win or lose, is going to take at least another 30 minutes. I'm not going to wait for that. I'm going to hop out. Perfect discipline today. This screwed my futures day, unfortunately. I don't really think much else can be done realistically. I realistically, factoring in humanness, this was weak, and I did give it that keyword. When I see this dump and also get liquidity momentum, I'm pressing the freaking sell button. Unfortunately, though, it didn't get a very good. It didn't get a good fill at all, so I had to miss this PT because the risk to reward was less than 1.0. Not only that, I missed out on this long as well, which is a rare occasion that I'll just kind of get screwed over like that. But otherwise, this one was pretty good today. So, all right, I will see you guys later. We'll be doing the full live stream again tomorrow, but I'll see about the trade review today. The trade review may be delayed to a later time. I'll keep you guys updated with all that. All right, I will see you guys later.